In this video, we're going to do a lathering tutorial with Stirling soaps. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. I really appreciate it. And as mentioned before, today we're going to do another lather tutorial because I realized I haven't done a tutorial with Stirling soaps. Now, the one I'm showing you here is Stirling Citron, which is new as of the date of this recording, but I'm going to use an old one for this experiment because this is quite an old soap. Executive Man. I've had this for years, and we're going to start off with just the equipment I'll be using, which is just our Captain's Choice. This is a copper lathering bowl. I have the PAA Phantom Aerolite synthetic brush, and I have a little, actually a measuring spoon here, and this is 1/2 teaspoon. So the amount of soap there is about 3/4 of a teaspoon of soap. So that'll give you a sort of a rough estimate as to what I'm going to put in the bowl. And so what I'm going to do first is just put the soap in the bowl. And the only reason I use this measuring spoon is just so you get an idea of how much soap I'm using. Don't go light on the soap, because it's better to use more and have a great lather than not enough and be frustrated. And so what I do is just press it in the middle, and then I will start working that soap outward. And I'm just going to be pressing it outwards. And as I'm doing that, I'm just spreading it out towards the outer rings like so. And we'll just continue to spread that outwards, and then I'll show you what it looks like as I'm going. I'm just trying to spread that out and create more surface area with soap on it, as I find that to be helpful. And pretty much for me, the middle of that Captain's Choice bowl being covered, that's usually enough soap, and then I just spread it outward. So it's somewhere between 1/2 teaspoon and 3/4 of a teaspoon is what I use. Now, depending on the soap, you may have to use more, so please consider this. And I'm slowing this down because I want new folks to be able to take advantage of this. I'm going to take this slow. I'm going to take my time and just show you how I create a lather with Stirling. And there we go. Plenty of soap in there, but we didn't use a ton, but it's plenty enough to cover the bottom of that bowl pretty well. And what a lot of people like to do at this point, and I do it from time to time, is run a little warm water. We're going to get that water very warm and bloom the soap in the bowl, not in the tub. I don't like to add water to my tubs. You can if you like. It's totally up to you. But I'm showing you my process. And so we've got this water pretty warm here. What I'm going to do is just get a little of that hot water right on top of that soap. Let's see, put a little warm water on there. And what I will do, got a little water in there, I'm just going to slosh it around and leave that setting. Leave that set for a few minutes, perhaps. And it's producing, you know, what they call bloom water. The water's getting milky. You can't really see it because if I tip it, it's going to roll out of the bowl. But I'm just going to leave that right on top of the soap. And we will just set that aside. Let that go for a couple of minutes, or some people like to take a shower while their soap is blooming. And then what I'll do is get out and begin the process. So what I'm going to do now is take the camera, put it down towards the sink where I'm going to be making the lather, and then we shall return. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and as you can see, we got the lather bowl there, but I'm going to move it out of the way because I need to wet the brush. And all I'm going to do is put some warm water in the brush there, and I'm going to squeeze that knot to the point where it's damp. Not much in that brush at all. Let's let that water out there. We don't need that there. And I'm going to take the bowl. You see the bloom water still in it. And we'll begin to work the soap, going around in circles. To the right, I always like to do that for a while. Then I will change to the left. And the reason I do that is to wear the brush evenly. That's the entire purpose. To the right, to the left. And, you know, you can go 10, 15 seconds one way, then go the other. And I'll also do some light back and forth, sort of all around. Then I'll go to the right, to the left, and what will happen is the lather will begin to get pasty, like so. That's when you add water. I'm just going to add a little bit of water. With the sink, it's always a little more difficult because I usually use my sprayer, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm using the sink. I'll go to the right, work it a good bit, and then to the left. Now, keep in mind, I'm not splaying, and splaying means pushing the brush down and opening it like that. Not yet. I'm just doing some preliminary work on the top of that soap. Going right, going left. Then I'll go across a little bit each way, like so. To the right, to the left, back and forth, like so. Then we'll add more water as it gets pasty. A little more water, kind of slosh that around, and repeat the process. We're in this continual process of going right, left, and then some back and forth. And I will begin to lightly splay the brush some, like now, lightly, as time goes on. As you can see, starting to build a little volume on the bottom. I'll go right, left, back and forth, light splaying. If you splay the brush very early, what happens is you inject a lot of air to the lather. And so I don't like to do that early on. Now we'll add some water. Add a little water, sloshing around. As you can see on the brush, it's got a sheen on there. That's good. That's what we're looking for. So again, going right and left, slightly splaying the brush at this point. Later, I'll splay the brush a little more dramatically. And keep in mind, if I'm doing this on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to be doing this much faster. I'm slowing the process down for your benefit. You see how that's beginning to develop? Now I'm going to work it across, working across those ridges in the bottom of the bowl. That does help develop lather. I'm going right, left, and I splay more and more throughout the process. That's how I do it. And again, this is only my process. You can do whatever works well for you, but this is the way I make lather day in and out, and I find it works really well, adding a little bit of water at a time. And as you can see, we're building volume, and I hope you can see that that's developing a sheen. Adding that water is really critical to the development of the sheen and subsequent slickness, as I like to think. So we'll add a little bit more water. Again, this is slightly different than I would normally do it because I'm doing it out of a sink, whereas normally I use a mister. And you see me do that all the time, or you see me using my mister. And as you can see there, we're getting some good quality lather there. It's got some hydration in it. It's hanging off the brush. It's got a sheen to the lather. I hope that's coming across. I can never really tell when I'm shooting from this angle. And there's a good bit of volume development. So you can continue to do this process to develop the volume that you desire. See the sheen on that? What I'm going to do now is, because this has worked enough for my preference, I'm going to bring this up and then I'll take it to the face and show you how it looks on the face. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and let's see what the lather looks like on the face. There it is in our bowl. And I can never tell what it looks like when I'm shooting from that angle, but in the bowl here in front of me, it looks great. And so let's see what it looks like on the face. Oh yeah, that's going to be good stuff. Very creamy. It's going to be very slick. It's got great hydration in it. Look at that. I like to put a lot of hydration in my lather because hydration is the key to slickness. And I hope you can see the sheen on that soap right there. I hope you can see that. That's good stuff. I always like doing that. It's fun to play with the lather sometime. Challenge yourself and play with the lather and see how much hydration you can get in it and develop the consistency of lather that you prefer. And what I like and what works well for me may be a little bit different for you, but I like to make sure I have plenty of lather, or excuse me, plenty of lather and plenty of hydration in my lather. So look at that. See that? That's good stuff where it's just hanging there. Got a good sheen on it. Let's do a little more. See that? I don't know. I have fun with this. Have fun with your lather. That's part of the process. You should be enjoying it. I remember I used to lather up all the time, just trying soaps. And this soap here is probably 6 years old. And you can see, excuse me, I'm tongue twisted, it still lathers great. Still lathers great. You can see it sort of flopping around there. Plenty of hydration in there, plenty of volume. I'm just trying to sort of see if I can get all this on my face. There is a lot of it. Good stuff. Get the hydration in your lather, folks. That's what it's all about. I'm making a mess, but what the heck? I mean, that's good stuff, if you ask me. We're having bloopage all over the place. And honestly, it's fun, is it not? I mean, join me in trying to see how much hydration you can get in your lather. And Stirling is an amazing soap. It creates an amazing lather. Look at that. I mean, that's just good stuff. Or at least it is for me. I really, really enjoy doing these sort of things and just playing with the lather. It's just fun. And so experiment, practice while you're setting a TV. Make yourself a good bowl lather. Make yourself a face lather. Whatever it is that you prefer. But as you can see there's plenty of it. And there's plenty hydration in it. And there's no magic. It's just working the lather until you get hydration in it. And it develops that wonderful sheen. It's really nice, really slick, and it's fun. I mean, we can't overlook the fact that it's a lot of fun, or at least it is for me. Let's see if I can get this last little bit on there. I'm gonna have lather all over the place, but that's okay. Again, great deal of fun for me. Plenty of creamy goodness right here, Stirling soap. Well, I hope this has been helpful. I hope it has been fun, because it sure has been fun for me. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.